Welcome back to my channel. It's been almost a month since my last video where we talked about the Microsoft Insider Risk Management. If you have not watched the previous video, I also highly recommend to take a look at it because that video explains about the Microsoft Insider Risk Management and its capabilities around it, which would definitely help in improving the insider risk management in your organization. So today I'm here with another important topic, which is the Microsoft Purview Data Security Posture Management. If you're looking to strengthen your organization data security and reduce the risk, then this is definitely a must-watch video for you. Before we get into the details, let's quickly understand why DSPM is important for any organization. If we talk about organization today, most of the organization they're facing major data security challenges because the complexity of the data is increasing and the data is spread across multiple sources and platforms because the SaaS applications, using of the SaaS applications, uh, multi-cloud platforms, and also applications still legacies and running in the data center. So as a result of the data spread across multiple sources and platforms, and you have a limited visibility into the sensitive data. And security solutions are often fragmented for different environments. For example, you have a different security solution in the SaaS in different cloud platforms. This is where the Microsoft Purview data security posture management like solutions comes in. It helps you to discover and mitigate risks, assess your data security coverage, and correlate insights from user data to build a strong security posture. And if you talk about the process at a high level, how it is working, it is a little bit straightforward and also powerful. Over the right side, I've just mentioned how the Microsoft Data Security Posture Management works in a high level. Um, it first identifies the sensitive data, looking at what is your sensitive data, and locating the data sources like where it is stored, assessing the protection status, like which data is currently unprotected, evaluate handling and access. How is unprotected data being accessed? Mitigate and secure, like finally taking steps to reduce the risk and secure that particular data. Before we actually start, there are some few prerequisites like which we need to talk about it. And I wanted to highlight, I've planned two videos for the Microsoft Data Security Posture Management. This first video is like we're talking about the DSPM in general and going through the portal and see what are the options that's available, and what are the integrations that you can do with the existing Microsoft Purview solutions. And the second video is like there's a capability to utilize the Microsoft Security Copilot agents. So we are going to make that video as a second part, like where Microsoft Security Copilot agents is going to come into place and how are we going to use them. So the prerequisites like for the Microsoft Purview DSPM is like you need to have a Microsoft Purview license that include the DSPM capabilities and permissions in Microsoft Purview and Microsoft 365 Compliance Center, and you need to have access to the data sources like Microsoft 365, Azure, and any connected third parties apps. And finally, ensure that sensitive labels and policies are configured for classification protection. Of course, if it is not there, it's not an issue. You can also start the DSPM in a greenfield environment. That is more helpful to identify where your pain points are and then creating the policies. So we little bit talked about just a second. Okay, so we understand the challenges most of the organization is facing and why DSPM is important. And now let's look at what Microsoft Purview DSPM actually offers and how it integrates with the other Purview solutions. If you talk about the Microsoft Purview DSPM, you can classify them. Like it has four key capabilities. The first one is like it has an opportunity where you could monitor the cross cloud data and user risk. You can quickly monitor data and user risk across multiple clouds using the dynamic reports and alerts. This gives you real-time visibility into potential threats. And also you'll be able to identify the vulnerabilities with unprotected data, like DSPM processes and correlates data from other Microsoft Purview security. and compliance solutions to identify where the sensitive data is unprotected. And also you have the data security recommendations. Like, it doesn't just show you only the risk, it gives actionable recommendations for improving your security posture, which we will take a look at in the portal in the next few minutes. And the last one is the data security analytic trends and reports. Over a time, you would be able to track your organization security posture with detailed reports. This includes like DLP policy effectiveness and changes in the user risky behavior. And the next one is like integration with Microsoft Purview solutions. This is important. What you can do here is like you have two options. Like as I said earlier, if you're doing the data loss prevention or the insider risk management in a complete greenfield environment where you going to implement the solution from the Microsoft Purview suite, the first thing I would highly recommend is to start with the DSPM, because the moment when you enable the DSPM is like something like a bird's eye view where it is going to completely scan your like environment and give where are the pain points and where are the data lists that you have. And later you can go for the effective DLP policies and then enabling the insider risk management, because the DLP policies and insider risk management are the solutions that effectively help in preventing such kind of actions from happening. So it's a close integration which you need to work so that you have a better a risk management in your environment. So I have a last slide talking about that. We will see after the a quick walkthrough in the portal. So we have covered the concepts and features of the DSPM. Now let's jump into the portal and see how this works in the real life. I'm going to take you to the portal. So at the moment when you go into the portal, of course you need to log into the Microsoft Compliance portal, and then you need to look for the data security posture management. And the first and the foremost thing which I wanted to tell is like if you have not like if you have not seen this data security posture management in your environment, there will be an option like the first time when you click on it, there will be an option to turn on the analytics. So this is when like when you turn it on, you need to wait for 24 to 48 hours to do an initial discovery and give you the recommendation. And after you enable it, of course it gives the recommended action. So in this case, like first I simulated few actions to see what it is showing. Like for example, I printed sensitive files, and also I copied few files to the USB devices. So in the recommended side, it asked me to create a correction policy to extend the detection. So the correction policy that it was recommended, like it was asking me to create, it asked me to create data loss DLP policies as well as an IRM policy. I created it, so that's the reason it's a green tick mark. And also you have an option to create a detection policy across the network activity. Like for example, like if you want to detect sensitive data with a common cloud apps through browsers, you can also do that. That needs an integration with your Azure because it uses some collection policy so that gaining visibility into browser sensitive alerts, and then it needs some some storage. So that's the reason you need to have this enabled. So the top this is the recommended action, and the next one is like about after you complete this and you see like the top data security risk conditions. If you see, this is giving completely in the high level. It's not if you talk about the DSPM, it doesn't give you more detailed overview of like which user perform like printing sensitive files or copying files to USB devices. It gives on a high overall like high overview of like top data security risk recommendation, because it sees more volume of users printing sensitive files and more volume of users copying files to USB devices, or more volume of users uploading files to their personal OneDrive. So these kind of information it would give. For example, if I click on view all reports, then it would give you all these kind of information. And also it says like unprotected sensitive assets across data sources like OneDrive, Teams, and Exchange. And for example, if I click on this view report, then it is going to give me more information about like the location. And also if you see here on the right side, the number of unlabeled assets and the labels without protection. So this overview gives you an option, an opportunity. Okay, I have to improve the labeling on, for example, on OneDrive. So these kind of things, like it's really helpful. And on the user report, I would also show you a few things. So if you click on the view report, even in the user report, it says like what are the user activities that it identify as high risk, and then it gives you the recommended policies to create when you go into the recommendation. So this is what you see on the portal. And the next related solutions which we have is like the data security investigations, DSPM for AI, which I have it on the next video, where we'll talk about like how the security copilot agents is going to help us in the DSPM. So having said that, I wanted to go back to the slide, and then complete like so. If you talk about the comparison between Microsoft Purview DSPM and the Insider Risk Management, when looking at both, they are looking similar to me. Even I had a bit confusion, but only after deep dive I understood DSPM focuses on your data security posture because it monitors where your sensitive data is. It identifies the vulnerabilities and provides us recommendations. Like it's not like something a deep dive, but the insider risk management or the data loss prevention, it looks actually at the user behavior, and then detecting the risky activities, like where the data exfiltration or the policy violation, and obviously it is taking the recommended action. So the DSPM is like on a high level. Once you enable it, you identify like where the sensitive data is, like it identifying the vulnerabilities, and then with the DLP or the insider risk management, you will be able to detect that better way, and then prevent that kind of data exploitation happening. So for me, the real power comes in like when these two work together. Even like over quite a long period of time, with the DSPM reports is definitely helpful, right? Because the DSPM reports is going to analyze and tell you, hey, this insider risk management is not proper. This let's say this particular DLP policy is not aligning with your current risky activities that's happening. So these kind of the things that you would be able to take better actions. So that's it for today's session. We covered the DSPM overview, and features and how it integrates with IRM. In the next video, we'll take this even further, explore how to integrate this with Microsoft Security Copilot agents. Thanks for watching this video, and see you on the next video. Thank you.